Hello, before your exam tomorrow, I would like to give you some very quick tips on how you can do well, especially for your source base because now it's quite late to study and memorize things. So just take note of your source base questions that you do it properly. Number one, okay, refer to this worksheet that I just gave out to you. Number one, first type of question is the cartoons. So when the cartoons, please make sure that you actually highlight and tell me who are the characters, what are their expression, right? The actions, any exaggerations you see, any captions, any symbols. Tell me exactly everything. Okay, so a little example here for you. Okay, of this cartoon. Now the issue here is on bicycles, right? Is bicycles beneficial? So from this picture, I can see the sarcasm, right? That he's throwing the bicycle down. So this sarcasm is used for what? So please explain what it is used for. Example over here, right? So the sarcasm is actually used to highlight the criticism that citizens have with regards to the sharing of bicycles. So look at the picture, see if you see any exaggeration, any symbolism, no, any exaggeration, any sarcasm, or any things that you want to highlight and relate it back to the issue, which is bicycle is beneficial or not. Okay, so when you do the message or your inference, make sure that you always tell me about the main issue, right? So bicycle sharing is not beneficial. The message here is that bicycle sharing is not beneficial for Singaporeans. Okay, then when you do your evidence, make sure that you actually imply everything. So you're talking about bicycle sharing, right? So in your evidence, you must talk about bikes in your evidence, right? And then you must highlight to me where is the part that shows it is not beneficial because they are using it to exercise their arms via weightlifting and throwing the bicycles down into the canals. Okay, I forgot to add that in. So when you do your evidence, make sure that you include this part as well, the not beneficial. So where do you see this not beneficial is that you see them throwing the bicycles down. Okay? So what does this mean when you throw the bicycles down? Okay, this is where you must use your imagination to explain. What does it mean? So what if you throw the bicycles down? Well, if you throw the bicycles down, it just tells me that with the advent of this bicycle sharing, people are irresponsible users. Okay? Throwing it down will result in eyesores, will result in damage to properties and the environment. This is not in the source. I'm not repeating my evidence. I'm using my evidence and adding on to my evidence to link it to how this is not beneficial. Why is throwing why is throwing the bicycles down the canal not beneficial? Because it is an eyesore, it is a damage to properties, and it is causing the environment to look very damaged and ugly, and hence it is not beneficial for us as a nation. Okay, so looking at some common errors here, the most important one is this: not answering the question. Please follow the phrasing exactly. If they ask you what is the message, please tell me and follow the phrasing exactly. The message is that this is the number one thing. If you don't follow this, you will get big fat zero. Okay. Second thing, when you do inference, tell me tells. When you're telling me the evidence, say shows. When you're explaining, say means. Alright, so I don't need to go through this. I think you know it already. Number three, vague. So do not use this good. Good, not acceptable. Alright, change the good to beneficial. So there is some element of inference here rather than just telling me good, because good can be anything can be good. How do you define what is good? I define what is good by saying that it is beneficial. Okay, next thing, please don't live The message that cycling is a budget-friendly option, and budget-friendly option is already inside the evidence. If you do this, again, 1 mark. No matter what you write at the bottom, you're wasting your time. You just get 1 mark. So change it to cycling is beneficial. Again, number 5. Messages are not about the bigger issue. It's bicycle sharing. If the issue is bicycle sharing and you talk about how citizens can save money, then you're not talking about the main issue. Who is the main character? What is the main thing? The main topic is bicycle sharing. So if your main topic is bicycle sharing and you tell me about citizens can save money, then you're not inferring to the main issue. So you'll get a sub message, and sub message highest mark you probably get is 2. Okay, so that's not good. And number 6, evidence does not match. That's exactly what I said just now. If the message is cycling is beneficial and you give me the evidence that people are excited about cycling, there's no element of benefits that I see here. People excited about cycling doesn't mean that it's beneficial. Or you say people don't like public transportation, again, you're not even talking about cycling at all. So there's nothing in your evidence that can bring you to this conclusion of your inference that cycling is beneficial. So make sure that you indeed have a good evidence, right? Like this example here, the source says that cycling is a budget-friendly option. I can see the word cycling, I can see the word budget-friendly option, and this tells me of the benefits. All right, number 7, explanation. Many of you like to do this. After you have given me the evidence, you start saying this means that cycling is beneficial. Now there's a few steps in between beneficial and the evidence right? This means that cycling is good. Cycling helps people. Again, you're not really explaining how it benefits people that well, right? Compared to this, it benefits because cycling is cheaper alternative and allows citizens to save money. As such, it is beneficial. So I close my gap. I close all the gap and make sure my explanation is thorough. All the links are closed. There's no further way I can explain this. So budget friendly means that citizens can save money, right? And hence it is beneficial, right? Because you can cycle to places where you would not, you otherwise would be walking, means that there is a cheaper alternative for you that allows you to save time and save money. So make sure your explanation, especially for the evaluation question, your explanation must make sense and it must flow. It cannot just be lazy writing in that you just be very vague. This means that cycling is good and thus is beneficial. Again, what is good? Or you just repeat the inference. This means that cycling is beneficial. So if there are gaps that need to be closed, please make sure you close all the gaps. Use your imagination. Alright, so this is the first video that I'm going to record on basic inference.